A very good morning, my dear children. How are you all? I hope you all are good and safe at your places. Today, I, Sneha teacher, welcome you all for another session of English subject. But before starting, let us begin our prayer. Let us begin our day with our prayer. So, children, sit straight, join your hands. Sit straight, join your hands, close your eyes, and repeat after me on mute mode. You are going to repeat after me on mute mode. So let's start. Dear God, give me power to face struggle, give me strength to face failure, give me braveness to face enemies, give me courage to try new things, give me innovative thoughts to develop myself, give me stamina to attain success, give me opportunity to show who I am, give me God, make me unique, and bless me forever. Now, children, slowly rub your palms. Yes, children. Okay, slowly rub your palms. Rub it nicely. Place it on your eyes and gently open your eyes. Children, today we are going to learn a new topic in English. But before that, I want to show you something. You have to guess what it is. Shall we start? Okay, let's go. Now, children, can you tell me what is this? Yes, any guesses? What is this? Okay, let me wear it and show you. All right. So now, can you guess what is this? Yes, very good, children. This is a crown. Do you know whose crown is this? Yes, children. Can you tell me whose crown is this? Just a moment. I need to wear something else. Let me do it. Now, I have a mustache. Can you see? Now, can you tell me who am I? Yes, I am the king. Okay, now children, let's call out the king. And here you go. This is the king. Say hello to Mr. King. Let's say hello to Mr. King. Hello, Mr. King. How are you doing? Hello, my little friends. I am the king. I am doing great. What about you? We too are fine, Mr. King. Thank you. Now, let us place Mr. King on the board for some time. Here we go. All right. So, now, children, we know that this is the king. But do you know where does the king live? Any idea? You can comment me in the chat box. Yes. Can you tell me Where does the king live? The king lives in a palace. Very good, children. The king lives in a palace. Now let's get the palace. Here you go. This is the palace. Now let us place the palace on the board. All right. Now we know that this is the king and the king lives in a palace. But children, do you know where can be this palace? Do you have any idea where can we find a palace? Yes, we find the palace in a king's kingdom. Yes, we find a palace in a king's kingdom. So let's place the tag kingdom over here. Now, children, today we are going to learn a new topic in English and it is a poem. And the name of the poem is There is the Key of the Kingdom. So let's place this on the board. Let's place the topic on the board. There is the key of the kingdom. So today's topic is There is the Key of the Kingdom and this is our English poem. So before starting with this, I would first like to tell you a story. Would you like to listen to a story? Yes? Let's get started. Now for this story, I will need your help. And now you would be asking me, how are you going to help me out? Yes, we are going to use our arms and our hands to tell the story. Let's see how. But before that, I want to make sure that we all are good and stretched. So, everyone, stretch your arms way out and shake your hands. Everyone, come on, do it. Stretch your arms way out and shake your hands. Are you doing, children? All right. So now I think we are ready for the story. Okay, let's get started. We are going to start up by holding up our thumb. Now, you must be wondering, this is just a normal everyday thumb. But children, today, this is something special. This is the key. This is the key. And this is the kingdom. This is the key and this is the kingdom. Okay, now everyone show me your thumb. Hold up your thumb like this. What is this, children? This is the key. And stretch your arms way out and show the kingdom. Yes, this is the kingdom. All right, so let's begin. There is the kingdom. There is the key of the kingdom. There is the key of the kingdom. In that kingdom, there is a city. In that kingdom, there is a city. In that city, there is a town. In that town, there is a street. In that street, there is a lane. In that lane, there is a yard. In that yard, there is a house. In that house, there is a room. In that room, there is a bed. On that bed, there is a basket. Now, let's see what's there in the basket. There are some flowers. Let's smell these flowers. It really has a very good fragrance. All right, children. Now, let us go backwards. Let us go backwards. So, are we ready? Let us go backwards, and I want to make sure whether you remember all the words correctly. All right, shall we start? Flowers in a basket, basket on a bed, bed in a room, room in a house, house in a yard, yard in a lane, lane in a street, street in a town, town in a city, and city in the kingdom. And where is the key? And where is the key of the kingdom? This is the key of the kingdom. So children, I hope you have followed the story. But do you know, children, this story is nothing but the same poem we are going to study today. Isn't it amazing? All right. So now, children, let us do the same. Let us do the same. Let us do the actions all together. Are you ready, children? Are you ready for some action? All right. So let's get started once again. Now you are going to follow the steps and repeat after me. You are going to follow the steps and repeat after me in mute mode. All right? So let's get started. Now hold up your thumb. Hold up your thumb. Yes, very good, children. You are doing a very good job. Okay. Now hold up your thumb. Yes. Now, do you remember what is this? Can you tell me what is this? Yes, this is the key. And this is the kingdom. All right. So let's get started with the poem now. I think we all are ready. Let's get started. There is the key of the kingdom. In that kingdom, there is a city. Very good, children. You are really doing a good job. Now, have you shown the city? Yes. In that kingdom, there is a city. In that city, there is a town. Are you doing the actions? Very good. In that town, there is a street. Now you're going to stretch one arm and then show that you are walking on the street. Okay. In that street, there is a lane. In that street, there is a lane. Are you all doing with me? Yes, are you following the steps? I hope you are doing it all correct. In that lane, there is a yard. Very good. In that yard, there is a house. Now show me your house. You have to show your house in this manner. Yes, very good. In that house, there is a room. In that room, there is a bed. On that bed, there is a basket. And what's in the basket? Let's see. Oh, these are some flowers. Now, let's smell these flowers. Hmm, it has a very sweet fragrance. All right, now let's do it backwards. Are we ready? Now we are going to remember all the words correctly, okay? Now let's do it in backwards. All ready? Let's get started. Flowers in the basket. Basket on a bed. Bed in a room. Room in a house. House in the yard. Yard in a lane. Lane in the street. Street in the town. Town in the city. City in the kingdom. And where is the key of the kingdom? This is the key of the kingdom. Yay! We have done a very good job. I hope, children, you have enjoyed the poem with actions. And this will help you to increase your concentration level and your memory skills. All right. This is the easiest way of learning a poem. Isn't it amazing? Yes. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Now, it's time for us to have a look at a presentation. So, children, I will be sharing the screen with you. Okay, and we are going to have a look at the presentation based on the poem, There is the Key of the Kingdom. So give me 2 minutes. I am sharing the screen now. Okay, children. Now, is the screen visible to you? I hope the screen is visible to you. Let's get started. Okay, our today's subject is English and it is Unit 3, Lesson number 21, and it is a poem. The name of the poem is There is the Key of the Kingdom. Let's get started. There is the key of the kingdom. Now, children, in this slide, you can see the pictures of a key and the kingdom. Here, the word key means a way of reaching to the kingdom. Yes, this is a way of reaching to the kingdom. Let's go to the next slide. In that kingdom, there is a city. Yes, children. In the city, you have so many buildings and towers. Can you see? Yes, a city contains many buildings and towers. Let's go to the next one. In that city, there is a town. Now, children, town is an area larger than a village. Town is an area larger than a village. Let's go to the next slide. In that town, there is a street. Children, street is a narrow road. A street is a narrow public road. Let's go to the next slide. In that street, there is a lane. Let's go to the next slide. In that lane, there is a yard. Now, yard is an area close to a house. Yard is an area close to a house. Let's go to the next slide. In that yard, there is a house. Now, children, can you see the house? Isn't it beautiful? Yes, the house is very beautiful. Let's go to the next slide. In that house, there is a room. Now, we are just going to talk about a single room, okay? We are going to talk about a single room. Let's go to the next slide. In that room, there is a bed. Now, look at this bed. It's so beautiful. Let's go to the next slide. On that bed, there is a basket. Yes, the basket. You can see the picture of a basket. Let's go to the next slide. In that basket, there are some flowers. Yes, yes, there are so many flowers, beautiful yellow flowers in the basket. Now, let's go backwards and see whether we remember all the words correctly. Are you ready, children? Let's go backwards. Flowers in the basket. Basket on the bed. Bed in the room. Room in the house. House in the yard. Yard in the lane. Lane in the street. Street in the town. Town in the city. City in the kingdom. And this is the key of the kingdom. All right, children. So now, I think by now we must have been familiar with all the words that are mentioned in the poem. I hope you enjoyed the poem a lot. Now it's time for us to have a look at a poem video. Okay, we are going to see a video based on the poem. Let's get started. All right, children. So now I hope you have followed the poem and you must have enjoyed it while doing the actions. All right. So now let's get to the next slide. All right. Now, children, when you open your textbook, your English textbook to page number 44, you will get to see Unit 3, Lesson number 21. There is the key of the kingdom. So, it's on page number 44 of your English textbook. So, let us revise it once again. There is the key of the kingdom. In that kingdom, there is a city. In that city, there is a town. In that town, there is a street. In that street, there is a lane. In that lane, there is a yard. In that yard, there is a house. In that house, there is a room. In that room, there is a bed. On that bed, there is a basket. In that basket, there are some flowers. Now let's go backwards. Flowers in the basket. Basket on the bed. Bed in the room. Room in the house. House in the yard. Yard in the lane. Lane in the street. Street in the town. Town in the city. City in the kingdom. And this is the key of the kingdom. Now, children, we have to revise the poem again to get it, okay, to learn it quickly, to learn it in a very easy manner. So when we use expressions, when we use actions, we will be able to learn the poem faster. All right. So now let's have a look at the next slide. There are some new words in the poem. Let's have a look. The first one, town. Now what is town? Town is an area larger than a village. Next, street. A street is a public road in a town. Lane. Lane is a narrow road. Yard. Yard is an area of land close to a house. So now we are done with the new words. Let's go to the next slide. Here is the homework for you, children. Okay, you are going to do this homework after we finish our class. Okay, you are going to list down words that begin with the letter K. For example, key, king, kingdom, keychain, kite. There are so many words that start with the letter K. So you are going to find as many as words possible, okay, and write it down on a piece of paper or in your rough book. All right, children, have you followed the homework? Are you going to do the homework? Once again, let me repeat your homework. You are going to list down words that begin with the letter K. For example, key, king, kingdom, keychain, kite, kennel. There are so many words that start with the letter K. So you are going to find as many as word possible starting with the letter K. So I hope children you have followed the homework. Now let's come back. Now I am unsharing the screen. Let me unshare the screen now. All right then. I hope children you have enjoyed the poem. Now let us revise the poem once again with actions. Are you ready children? Yes, let's revise the poem with actions. Let's get started. Hold up your thumb in this way. Now you know what is this. This is the key. And this is the kingdom. Let's get started. Now hold up your thumb. Let's get started. There is the key of the kingdom. In that kingdom, there is a city. Are you doing, children? You have to follow the steps. In that city, there is a town. In that town, there is a street. Okay, you have to show the street in this way. In that street, there is a lane. You remember what is a lane? A lane is a narrow road. In that lane, there is a yard. Now, what is yard? A yard is an area close to a house. In that yard, there is a house. Very good, children. In that house, there is a room. Now, how are we going to show the room? In this way, yes. In that room, there is a bed. Yes. On that bed, there is a basket. And what's in the basket? There are some flowers. Now let us smell the flowers once again. They smell so sweet, isn't it, children? Now let's go backwards. Flowers in the basket, basket on the bed, bed in a room, room in a house, house in a yard, yard on yard in the lane, lane in the street, street in the town, town in the city, city in the kingdom. And where is the key? This is the key of the kingdom. I hope children you have enjoyed the poem using actions and followed the steps. Now it's going to be a playtime. Now it's playtime. Let me just flip the board for you. Yes, let's have a playtime. All right, children. Now, as you can see the heading, this is playtime. Now, what are we going to do? I have made some placards. Okay. And these are the words that are mentioned in the poem. These are the words that are mentioned in the poem. You are going to arrange these words from biggest to the smallest. You are going to arrange the words from biggest to the smallest. Now, do you know what should be the biggest thing that is there in the poem? Yes, we are going to start with the kingdom. So, the first word that we are going to keep here is the kingdom. Now, after kingdom comes, yes, after kingdom comes the city. Yes, the next is city. All right, so let me paste it here on the board for you. So the first is the kingdom, then comes the city. Okay, now after city, what comes next? Yes, after city comes the town. Yes, let's place this town over here. So, kingdom, then comes the city, then comes the town. Now, what's after town? Can you guess what is there after town? After town comes the street. Let's place the street below the town. All right. So we are done with the kingdom. Then comes the city. Then comes the town. Then comes the street. And after street, let's go to the next word. What is the next word? Yes, after street comes the lane. Yes. After street comes the lane. Okay. Now, what comes after lane? Yes. After lane comes the yard. Very good, children. You are really doing a very good job. Very good. Okay. So now, after yard, what comes next? Yes, children. Any guesses? Yes. After yard comes the house. So let me place the house below yard. Okay, so we are done with the kingdom. Then comes the city. Then comes the town. Then comes the street. Then comes the lane. Then comes the yard. And last comes the house. Now, after house, can you guess what comes after house? Yes, after house comes the room. Yes, after house, the next word is the room. Now, what comes after room? Yes, children, can you tell me what comes after room? After room comes the bed. Very good. After bed, what is the next thing? Yes, after bed comes the basket. So let me place the basket. And what's in the basket? Yes, there are flowers in the basket. There are some flowers in the basket. All right, children. So now we have arranged the words which are mentioned in the poem from biggest to the smallest. What is the biggest thing in the poem? Kingdom. Then comes the city. Then comes the town. Then comes the street. After street comes the lane. After lane comes the yard. After yard comes the house. After house comes the room. After room comes the bed. And after bed comes the basket. And what is there in the basket? There are some flowers. Yes. Now we have arranged from biggest to the smallest. Now let's do it reverse. Let's take it backwards, like from smallest to the biggest. Now let me change the tag. Let me change the tag for you. Let's put it here. So now We are going to change it from smallest to the biggest. So let's start from the last position. Okay, which is the last word? Yes, which is the last word? The last word is a basket. So we are going to start from the smallest to the biggest. Now we are going to go from down to up. Let's get started. The smallest one is a basket. Then comes the bed. Then comes the room. Then comes the house. Then comes the yard. Then comes the lane. After lane comes the street. After street comes the town. After town there is city. And after city there is kingdom. So now we have arranged the words. We have to go from down to up. Okay. For smallest to the biggest. All right, children. I hope you all have followed the poem and you are now familiar with all the words that are there in the poem. So after we finish our class, you all are going to revise the poem from the textbook, which is on page number 44. All right, so you're going to open your English textbook to page number 44 and study, learn the poem with actions. All right, children? Okay, so all right, so now it's time. Now we have come to the end of the session. Children, I really had a good time with you all. I hope you have enjoyed the poem with actions. And it's time for me to say goodbye. See you next time. Stay safe, stay happy, and keep smiling. Bye, everyone. Take care and have a nice day. Yes, bye.